Welcome to the Church of Jerusalem this morning. Praise the Lord. We begin with our offering.
Another plate, please. These little ones fill up so fast. Another one. This one filled up so fast, too.
Yes, sir. Perhaps you recognize this story. In Mark 12:38-44, it said, "Then he said to them in his teaching, 'Beware of the scribes who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in the marketplace, the best seats in the synagogue, and the best places at feasts, who devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation.' Now Jesus sat opposite the treasury and saw how people put money into the treasury. And many who were rich put in much. The one poor widow came and threw in 2 mites, which make a quadrans. So he called his disciples to himself and said to them, 'Assuredly I say to you that this poor widow has put in more than all those who have given to the treasury. For they all put out of their abundance. But she put in out of her poverty all that she had, her whole livelihood.'" You know, it's interesting. We're in a time where there's a pandemic going on, there's quarantine, and a lot of people are suffering financially. And we have to ask ourselves, how generous should we be? How generous should we be? Before we make that decision, I think we should read a couple of scriptures from Proverbs. Proverbs 22:9 says, "He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor." Proverbs 11:25 says, "The generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will also be watered himself." See, generosity is not just about money. Generosity is about being humble and putting others above yourself. And so when you think of generosity in this time of our pandemic, I don't just want you to think of it in a monetary sense. I want you to think of it in how you give your time, how you can serve other people, how you can go about blessing other people, even sometimes in the most simple of ways. Perhaps helping a neighbor with some yard work, perhaps making a run to the grocery store for them. These are all acts of doing something for others, to put them first, a way of being generous, not asking for anything in return. This particular week, as I was preparing my deacon's offering to give to our local needy families, to be honest with you, I wrote my check out and I thought, you know what, that's not good enough right now. And so I took my check back and I doubled it. Now I'm not asking everyone to do that, and I know that not everyone can. But I know that God has been good to us through this time. All of our needs are met. We have more than we need, and so we're making an effort to find ways that we can continue to turn around and bless other people. And I want to invite you to do that with me as well, not so that you can say, "Hey, I gave this much or that much." I mean, we know that Jesus looked at the widow and she had 2 mites, which is everything she had. And that meant more to him than the big stacks of greens. What he wants is us to give him everything. He wants us to pour our entire heart into loving him and serving him. And as we do that, as it said in Proverbs 22:9, "He who has a generous eye will be blessed." We begin to find blessings in brand new ways, a closeness to God. It's an opportunity to live out your faith, to test your faith even, and say, you know what, I'm going to give until it hurts a little bit. And I don't want you to get the wrong impression. It's not about just giving to the church. It's about giving to the Lord. And maybe there's other ministries around that you recognize at this time need a little extra help. Maybe there's, again, some people in your community that need a little extra help. Make sure you don't overlook those people. But it's a great opportunity for you to help your church, help them as well too. So be wise and be generous. And I believe that God's blessings will be waiting for you when you do.